Hey, you always show it.
Here we go. Oh. Jane says no more. Come on now. Come on. You totally doxed yourself. Delete. Delete. Alright. And we're back. Just call me Mr. Dox.
He doxed himself again.
Shut up.
Stupid. You're so stupid.
Hey.
Nothing.
Hey.
Absolutely nothing.
You don't say that about your father.
Stupid.
I'm gonna go get my belt.
What belt?
The belt I use to crush your spirits.
And then we'll start being depressed.
Blacklist Universe. Come on, go to the freaking... Why can't I go to my own page? / Blacklist. Oh, no. Underdog. Underdog. Alright. Well, good afternoon, folks. I'm sorry you don't get to watch me drawing this from the very beginning, but I'm an idiot. My apologies for my stupidity. Okay. Time to send Mike S. Dox random prank. You gotta stop doxing yourself. Yes, I'm aware. I need to stop doing that. I just don't think about it. I don't think it's like, oh, is my name on this package or this package? It's just like, here, there's a piece of mail right here. Why don't I just show this to you? And
Wait.
I could dox George R.R. Martin. I got a package from him.
What do you mean?
Put out some tofu and soy.
Are you sure? Because you removed 10 of these.
It's the funny thing, though. It's the easiest thing on earth to find most people through the internet. If you want to find Eric Larson's phone number and address, it's super simple. I'm not suggesting you do. But, you know, I was on a stream the other night, and Ethan was, like, joking about calling Eric Larson, and his phone number popped into my head, because I haven't called the guy for 20 years, but his number just pops into my head, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is that still his number? So I just searched his number, and yeah, all of his information is right there on the internet. It's so easy to find. I mean, I didn't even have to have his number to find his information, where he lives, what his phone number is, what his wife's phone number is. It's like, it's amazing how simple it is. In fact, you know what? I found my wife's long lost nephew years and years ago through a simple search. Gosh, it was probably just freaking white pages. It was that easy to find people's information. It's doxing. If somebody wants to find my information and send me a, you know, a dead rat in the mail or whatever, it's not going to be difficult.
Wait, when you hold it, everyone goes in?
It's the same for any of you. I mean, most people, I don't even know how you would delete your you know,
sue them.
information from the web once it's already out there. So I'd probably have to move. Of course, then there'd be public records of that too. There's public records of stinking everything. So if someone's going to make the effort, they're going to make the effort. Of course, maybe they're like terrorists and they're too stupid to realize things like this. I always laugh about at the stupidity of terrorists. You know, targeting secure areas where it's like, it'd be so, if any of the terrorists around were like intelligent, they could make much better decisions, or better for their cause, worse for our cause. But yeah. If there's a will, there's a way. That's absolutely right. And so I can't stop anyone from finding out where I live. I can't stop them from coming to my house, but I can stop them from coming through the door. And I can certainly stop them from causing any harm. Don't give them ideas. Yeah, don't give anyone ideas. My friend Oli and I will just sit there and talk about it. You know, it's like, man, these people are so incredibly dumb. It boggles the mind. Colonel Comics. Did someone say doxing? I've arrived. The funniest thing is the Twitter phone number self-dox. Celebrities accidentally publish their phone numbers once a year. Oh, you want to hear something weird that happened? I don't know if you guys know this, but if you hear the dial tone, like say someone is, picks up the phone and goes, doot, 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 that is their phone number. So one time when I was like 16 or 17 years old, I was watching David Letterman, and David Letterman used to do this thing where he would randomly call people out of the phone book, but he would like turn a line on so you could hear it, and it would go, and he'd dial it, and then the phone would ring. And so when he did it, I held my phone up to the speaker on the TV, and it called the guy. And I was just like, he's like, hello. I'm like, yeah, hey, did David Letterman call you earlier today? He's like, oh, yes, he did. So funny. Not that, obviously I did not, there was nothing to do with that information. But it was funny at the time. I thought it was fun. Let's see. He's probably going to have... let's see. I'm going to do the straps. That's one thing I did take from the show, is the way they strapped the cloaks on up in the north. The crisscross strapping. I'm not going to say all the designs in the show were dumb. They weren't. They certainly were not. I just didn't like the armor.
Dude, cats are so weird.
New rule: every time you grab a postal package, don't. Yeah, okay. Mike, I found your number. Well, the funny thing is, you can find my number. I do have a landline, but if I don't know the number, I don't answer it. So it's kind of a moot point to have my landline. All it'll do is irritate me when I'm live streaming and someone calls me. I guess that's probably enough for some people. He's live streaming. Quick, call him 400 times. But at that point, I could just unplug it. There's only one landline in the whole house. Ordering pizzas to your house. As long as you pay for them first, that's fine. Go ahead and order all the pizzas you want. Just don't do it COD. So these are obsidian blades. I'm probably going to reference some obsidian when I actually have time. PayPal Mike, so he can afford enough Sharpies to black out the addresses on every piece of mail he receives. Should I show that cover again? I know you guys are just watching it, but I can, for the sake of Game of Thrones, here. I actually only ever got these two comps, and I didn't really want to, this better not be porn, but it's Game of Thrones, so you never know. So what it is in here, if you get the Game of Thrones graphic novels, hey George, it'll have, as chapter breaks, the cover artwork. So Alex Ross did, this, he did the other one. This. Having clearly never read the books. But I did. So this is one. Right? This is Ned cleaning ice at the Godswood. Colored this one myself. At a certain point, I gave up coloring because it was taking me so bloody long. But, I think that was all issue 1. There's issue 2. I don't want to show you the whole book because there's some naughty bits in the book. Oh, there's a naughty bit there. Dang it, where is the chapter breaks? I can't find the chapter breaks. Oh, there's the chapter break. So there's another one. This is Danny and Caldorogo. Would you consider drawing more fantasy comic books? No. I mean, I drew Hedge Knight, Mr. Well, okay, granted, I'll probably draw the next Dunk and Egg series when it comes out, but that won't be for a while. And, but I drew this, there's issue number 4, so I did miss issue number 2. Issue number 2's cover is great. Where is it? There's so many nakeds. What the heck? There it is. So Robert and Rhaegar on the Trident. That's fun. But I also drew Dragonlance, Legend of Huma. I drew New Spring. Well, I did the breakdowns on Legend of Huma. I did New Spring. Yeah, there's my John. So see, I do have a relatively consistent John face just out of my head. So John, he's a little bit older here. He's a little bit younger there. He's a little bit sad and dopey. It's the brand new kid showbiz. This better not be corn. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Issue 5. This is Sansa when she betrays her family for this little twerp here. Joffrey, Cersei, the big fat Robert Baratheon. Sir Ilan Payne, the Hound. There's Arya. I did draw her a little too cute here, though. Why aren't Ghost's eyes red? Ghost. Ghost's eyes are red. Why don't you pay more attention instead of asking me stupid questions? Huh? Mike? Trying to call me out? Trying to call me out? You think I don't know? Jeez. You can't call me out on Game of Thrones, bruh. So Dany and the dragon. This was her nightmare or her vision. So I was trying to do, because we don't get any dragons, but I'm like, dude, I want to draw a dragon. So I used her vision as the cover. And George was like, well, I don't want people to think there's a dragon in it. I'm like, it's the vision. People are going to want to see the dragon. It's going to be cool. He's like, oh, okay. Do whatever you want. Yes, and that's my version of what George sounds like. So, but yeah, it's a good, it's a pretty good book. So I did this one. I should stop. I got other things. I got to draw. If you guys want those, you can buy them. They're on Amazon. You can pick those up. You can still get the individual covers. I actually have my comps for almost every single one of those books. But I don't like taking books to shows to sell, so they all just kind of sit right there, right over there. It's still pretty cool. Can't tell on this stream. Now I am ordering you a sardine pizza. Pigeon impersonations in the background. Oh, were you doing pigeons? Oh, there's a whole bunch of them back there. So, yes, this is my John. I still sort of have to base his costume, or not his costume, his suit on what we had in the comic books themselves. I usually like to pad his stuff out a little bit, though, because he's in the frozen north, and it's flippin' cold, so, you don't want to go out there without enough padding and warmth beneath your coat. But I do need to see, this is my John. I do need to see something to reference from the previous one. Where are my old John drawings? The only one I've done so far on Clash of Kings shows him from behind. Darn it. Theon, Rob, Melisandre. Here, I'm trying to get a Game of Thrones. A Game of Thrones. Oof, this is all just contracts. Alright, forget it. I'll just make it up as I go. Don't want to go out in the cold without enough on. Yeah, right. And I believe he would have gloves on too, although it's... Okay, in the description, maybe you guys can help me out. In the description, it describes him rubbing the cloth and feeling that it's good double knit wool. But would he be going out in this cold without flipping gloves on? And can you feel double knit wool through gloves? I'm gonna put him in gloves. I don't. That's the kind of thing sometimes even a brilliant writer like George won't quite think through, I think. Unless he did think it through, and maybe for some reason at this time, in the middle of the night, in the frozen north, it's warm enough that he doesn't have to have gloves on. But I don't think that's the case. I think he made a little bit of an error, and now I have to deal with it by putting John in gloves. I will allow the interior artist to deal with the fact that he has to feel the wool through his gloves, because the interior artist, the adaptation is a really pretty faithful adaptation of the books, far more faithful than the show could ever dream of being. So there is that. You can feel stuff through gloves. Not well, but you can. Yeah. How well do you have to feel something to know it's good double knit wool? We're going to have to wait 35 years for the next book. No, don't say it. I live in Minnesota. It happens. Jon Snow knows nothing, so no gloves. Mike doesn't understand cold weather. No gloves? Are you kidding? It'd be freezing out there. He's digging. He's like digging through the snow in this scene. You want him to dig through snow? I've dug through snow without gloves on. It's cold. You probably wouldn't be able to feel the double knit at that point. You know, I am going to tie up his wrists here too.
What did you just give me? Sasuke gave me that?
Give him a nice little single tie knot here. You ever do that where you just do a rather than doing a whole bow, you just use one side as the bow so that you can slip that one side out? That's what I'm doing here. Because you don't want a nice neat little bow on your sleeve. It depends If there's no wind, there could be enough warmth for him to go gloveless to feel it before he put it on. Probably took his glove off. Alright, well at this point he wouldn't have had to take his glove off because he's... and I don't recall it saying that he does take his glove off. But I'm going to give him a glove. I'm going to put him in gloves. I know you guys are saying no gloves, but at this particular point in time, I think gloves are necessary. Yes, this is when he was digging for the dragon glass at the end of the chapter. Makes sense you have to tie a knot with one hand. Glove gate. And then it's going to have this end. That's another tricky thing. He doesn't describe... He describes the dragon glass as not having any hilt for the dagger, but it's got to have a handle. So, what, just strips of rawhide, I would think. Right. Do you even own a winter jacket? Yes, I own a winter jacket. I don't use it. No glove. No love. No gloves. Why do you keep saying no gloves?
My white army there. Or winter. There's no winter soldier.
Gloves are not biblical. I don't know, guys. Should I listen to the guy from Minnesota about not putting gloves on him? Minnesota, I believe, is north of the wall.
No, this says not winter soldier. Winter says.
Gloves. You should call an Eskimo to consult. Minnesota. Every time I hear Minnesota, I hear Jesse Ventura's voice in my head. Minnesota.
Are you able to look up tomorrow, guys? I have to buy it. So you can equip 7.
So I need a call out from everybody. I need a vote. What's your vote count? Gloves? No gloves. Gloves or no gloves? Gloves or no gloves? Should he rough it? Cut off mittens. Yeah. Gloves, mittens, glove. Mittens. I'm not putting him in mittens. No gloves. Fingerless gloves. No. Gloves. Glove existed in the Middle Ages. Yes, they did. I would call artistic lessons on this. Call George and ask him. No gloves. You're the artist. I'm not going to call George for this. Double entendre gloves, not biblical Catholics against condoms. Okay. Leather gloves. A beanie. Hand socks. It seems pretty one-sided that he needs gloves. Hulk hands. Very, very thin gloves. Very small rocks. Oven mitt. Hello, Hell's Bell. Mittens is an option. Gloves. Everybody wants gloves. Sorry, Minnesota has been outvoted. We're gonna go with the gloves. Minnesota. Alright, so that's John, basically there. Boo. Sorry, Soilo, you lost this round. Pray I do not alter it any further. They troll on Mike. We're ready for the job and hold fast against the glove and tear and rhino jokes. You know what I could do? In the darkness of the bushes behind him, I could put like a rhino head. Be like, there's a rhino in the darkness. Hair match, you and me. I am gonna do, let's see, there is a, you know what, I am gonna do that. I'm gonna actually draw the trees in the background. I was gonna just do a big black background, but he does have a torch. But where do I want to put the torch now? He sticks the torch in the ground. If I stick the torch here, it's going to be really bright. And his whole half of this face is going to be in darkness. Maybe I'll just have the torch light here. Maybe the torch just here, like sitting like this. That way I can do upper lighting on here. There we go.
How do you do that?
Torch, a torch, a torch. How fun to draw a
Is
torch.
that what it is?
Not really, but whatever. Okay. Flames licking high into the air.
Go to settings. If not, I can't do it.
Sorry, on a spell. Either way, Mike's like fire. 'Cause Mike is on fire. This trash is on fire. Isn't John supposed to be pretty? John is supposed to have a long face. So, for those women who think that long-faced men are pretty, yes. But something I've noticed is that nearly all men find the same women attractive, but women find all kinds of different men attractive. It's very strange. So, you know, there may be... anybody else ever notice that? Did you see the article of the Kevin Spacey film bombing at $287 domestic? Or 287,000? Or 287 what? Women find any man plus $5 million attractive. Well, you know what? There's truth to that, because, you know, the ability to take care of a woman, take care of, you know, financially, I mean, that is an attractive quality, and it is a desirable quality for certain. You know, if you had two potential mates of equal stature in every other reason, but one was a multimillionaire and the other one worked at Taco Bell, you wouldn't be out of your mind to like the one that was a multimillionaire, right? My wife loves me, she's gorgeous, and I have a face like a burnt foot. My wife, too, is gorgeous, and everyone agrees. But, you know what? Not everyone would agree that I am attractive. So, it's weird. Women are just designed differently in that sense, I think. So, all's fair. That means that almost every guy, I'll put that almost, you know, has a chance with certain women. Or it's just, does the woman find your particular type attractive and desirable?
Hello?
Congrats on being rich. Yeah, I wish.
Hello?
What? We cannot talk. I am live streaming.
What?
What? So now I have to give him
Destiny?
specific lighting here.
I don't know.
Lighting that. Because this is the only light source now. I'll be the only rich soldier then. What? Chimpanzee.
I'm playing Roblox.
Female chimpanzees are well known to be promiscuous and have many mates. So you're calling female chimpanzees whores. That's terrible. How can you do that? How can you just come out and say that? It's so judgmental about female chimpanzees.
Okay.
Alright, let's do this.
Do you see I want a piano?
Remember the other day I was complaining about my erasers? I bought new erasers. I bought a whole pack of them. So now, I shouldn't have to complain about that for a while. No, I'm calling them sluts. Haha. I noticed the erasers. Yeah, I even put one. I found another one. I put it at the end of my pencil. It's like a kid's eraser. Actually, this is a pretty soft eraser. I like it. It's not like one of those. God, these god awful things. So these are so hard. I like my lead hard and my erasers soft. So. This world is on fire. How many Game of Thrones covers have you done / will you do? I have done. This is cover 17 of Clash of Kings. And I believe I did 24 for Game of Thrones. The Game of Thrones is the first novel, for those who don't know. Clash of Kings is the second novel. So 17 plus 24 is 20. Why am I having a hard time with 17 plus 24? 37 plus 4. 41? This is my 41st? What kind of pencil are you using? Ryan Miller Art asks for $2. I am using a Graph 600 Pentel 0.5 millimeter with Pentel 0.5 millimeter blue lead, which can be purchased on the interwebs or wherever. Amazon probably. I usually get them at my local place, joint, my local art store. No, yeah, the one in Hillcrest, not Blake. Mike, you are fast. Do you have to get your rough layout approval before you start penciling the cover? No, actually, my covers I don't bother. I just send in the finished work, and they have never complained. So yes, I think because I work directly with both George and the lady that oversees all of the Game of Thrones stuff, I don't have to work with, or I don't know. I think they don't mind that I just deliver without questions. Yeah, I told George that I wasn't going to draw the books themselves, but when it came to the covers, I felt fine about doing that. So I've yet to come across anything on a cover where I would have any sort of a quandary with it, because I can pick whatever I want. Like from this chapter here, I got to pick from 3 different chapters. And so I haven't done a John cover in a while, and John is a fan favorite, so I was like, I'll do John, because I don't want to do Sansa. I don't like Sansa. I've done a few Sansa covers, maybe just a couple or a few, but I didn't want to do her. And what was the other choice? I forget. Let me see. The other choice was Bran. And it was a chapter with Jojen's Prophecy of the Sea, and Ramsay, and Lady Hornwood News, and that sounds boring. This Finding the Dragon Glass seemed like the most fun. Okay, you can. I was right. That's all that matters to my strategy works. That all that matters to me. It was never about me. I never went to the comments or Twitter. I just wanted to be heard and got proven right. I must have missed a conversation. Game of Thrones shows too many boobies. It is a little excessive on the boobie count. I would agree with you there. Did you ever see that Saturday Night Live skit they did with the guy? Oh, my job is to make sure there's enough boobs. So funny. Ooh, it's getting warm in here. Alright, so John is wearing all black, and yet I need to find a way to differentiate the black from the black, and the darkness from the blackness. Otherwise, it's just going to be a very, very dark cover. And I don't want to just leave it all up to the colorist. Alright, boys, you can stop talking about the boobs now. It's not really an in-depth topic of conversation. Unless you're like a boob surgeon. Then I guess you could talk about it for hours. What did you do today? Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna. Look at the @ if the @ is not at you, it's in the chat convo. We don't want to disturb you. Oh, okay. You are patient with those kids. When my dad was working at home, we would have been booted out of the room. Our house was probably as noisy as yours must be. Oh, these guys, yeah, Isaac and Micah, they're being good. They keep the noise down to a near minimum. But I just love having them here with me because I am working so much. But I still want to be here for them at all times. I don't like kicking them out, but you know, sometimes you gotta kick them out, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they get a little rowdy, and then...
No, you.
No, me, you.
No, you're rowdy.
But I think they like being in here with me, right? You like being in here with me? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I thought. Don't spank us. And if they answer wrong, no dinner. No soup for you. You got good kids, Mike. I do have good kids. I have great kids.
Evil.
You guys probably heard that. I just sort of assumed that Ethan annoys his neighbors. What? What is that about? Why would you assume that Ethan annoys his neighbors? He just sits in his dungeon all day drawing and talking to you guys on the interwebs.
I put on my and then they just walk off.
Bunching. So any other Game of Thrones related discussions, topics? Oh, somebody asked when I thought Winds of Winter was going to come out. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up. I think if it had been announced that it was coming out, like legitimately, someone would have mentioned it to me. I've really not been paying. I've been so busy, guys, on YouTube and on the IndieGoGo, that I've really sort of let everything. I don't freaking even pay attention to politics much anymore. I try to catch some before I go to bed, but you know, I used to just listen to talk radio all day long, and now I'm doing this, or I'm listening to, you know, Ethan or somebody else all day long, and it's like, I don't know, now politics has sort of lost this interest for me because this is something I can do to affect my world and the world of people whom I can affect. And watching politics, it can get a little disgruntling when you're like, well, it's not election year, so I can't really do anything. I mean, I could, you know, I could moan and complain. But, you know, there's people that are much better at moaning and complaining about politics than I am. And, you know, they have millions and millions of viewers. So I'm not going to even try to get into that wheelhouse. I do enjoy politics. I do enjoy discussing politics, but I am not in a state of, you know, what's the word? Perpetually being inundated with it anymore. It's an election year, 2018. Lots of reps. Who wants to call which main character? Yeah. Who wants to call which main character dies next season besides, say, Cersei and Jaime? Ooh, Cersei and Jaime. That's interesting. Who thinks... I think... Gosh, does Cersei have to die? Cersei, of everyone, Cersei deserves to die. Alright? Do you think she will, though? I guess she kind of has to, huh? In one way or another, she's got to have her comeuppance, and I'm kind of hoping it's in the mouth of a dragon. But it might be more entertaining for her to be, like, sold off to the Dothraki. She's sold off as a slave to the Dothraki. That would be precious. That would be... Yes. Oh, that would be too good. That'd be too good. If Cersei dies, will you cry? No. You guys will be... Nah, I don't want to bring it up. Never mind. I will not cry for Cersei. Don't cry for me, Westerosi. The truth is I found you grossy. I didn't like you, tried to control you. You were my peasants. I was your master. My daughter and I were singing different songs, and we're like, hey, we should make musicals out of like all these different movies and do like songs real quick, like Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. It'd be fun. It'd be fun. Be good YouTube fodder too. I hope the Night King wins. No, you don't hope the Night King wins. But wouldn't it be interesting if the Night King had a purpose that we simply didn't understand, and it wasn't just about destruction? That would be too George. That would be too much like George to flip the enemy of the entire show on his head and make him a creature of purpose and reason. Actually, that is... I could totally see George doing that. Don't quit your day job, but that was 10% better than butter. Night King is Galactus. Did Mike read the novels? Yes, I read the novels multiple times. I didn't read the newer ones multiple times, but I read the older ones multiple times. Newer. I think they're all old at this point, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I couldn't stand to sit there reading those frickin' Brienne chapters again. Man, she bugged me so much. I was glad they hung her. I was really, really hoping she would just be dead. But in the show, apparently she's not, so... I don't know why I have so much animosity towards her. She was just so boring. She's like, in the books, in the show, I like her in the show. I like Brienne in the show. But in the books, she's just this monotonous, annoying, freaking wretch of a human being. Well, not a wretch, but... she's just annoying. She annoys the hell out of me in the books. I had to let it happen.
Because he was hitting me.
I had to change. Brienne got killed. Yeah, I guess they didn't use it. They didn't use it in the. Well, no, she didn't get killed. What it is you don't really know what happens to her. In the last book that came out, so it's like she was about to be killed, but then she cried something out, and then we don't know what happens. It just sort of ends there, and and I'm just like, oh, good. I hope she's dead. I know it's terrible, but But you know how it is. It's like if you don't see somebody die. Oh, that's not the case, and that's the weird thing about Game of Thrones is like if you don't see somebody die in a movie or something, that means generally they aren't dead. You know, it's like if you don't actually see the body dead, they're not dead. But in Game of Thrones, it's not like that. Sometimes people just die like off camera, off screen. Like everyone's speculating that the Hound had been killed. Yes, well the Hound. Yeah, he. It's in the books, if I'm remembering correctly, at where they left off, the Hound being alive was still just speculation. There was someone who matched his description that someone was talking about, but you know, you left him in a spot where you're pretty sure that dude was dead. But then again, the show ruined that for everybody too. So. There it is. There it is. I wonder if George is changing anything in the books so that they're more. It goes off in a different direction than the show does. I would actually like that because I always think of the show as like an alternate universe version of the books, anyways. So that would be pretty cool if you ask moi. All right, let me look up what Obsidian. An obsidian blade. Oh, and I feel like I should reiterate. Let's see, images. I should reiterate that I had requested, or not requested, I had requested of me that I put up a PayPal link for people who want to donate or, you know, give me money like they do in the chats, except for they don't want to lose 30%. Because in the chats, the super chats, you're basically giving 30% of that money to YouTube, whereas with PayPal, they only take 2.75%. So if anybody wants to, it was requested of me to put a PayPal link up there, so I did. And so if anyone wants to throw cash at me, I will still thank you. If you want me to thank you out loud, definitely. Or if you want me to read anything, you know, you're allowed to put notes in the PayPal thing too. And I do get these little, like when I get mail, it pops up on my screen, so I can go do it and I can read it, whatever your note is. If it'd be kind of a weird way to do a super chat, but that is another option requested of me and now delivered unto thee. So, what is a cool obsidian blade shape? Oh, that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Okay, I'll do something like that. Throw cash, not shade. Yes, and I have updated my what is that called? My Amazon list. I guess there are just some very generous people who like to throw money at those of us who spend our time entertaining you on the YouTubes. So I do appreciate it. My children appreciate it. I can buy them extra Taco Bell burritos with that. Boo. You don't like Taco Bell now?
I want nachos.
You want nachos?
Nacho fries.
Nacho fries. Actually, I'm getting pretty hungry too. Maybe Mommy can go get some
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. I had to let it happen. I had to change.
No touch. No kick.
Spend all my life down at heel. Let's see. Let's screw it up. I think they made Patreon. Oh yeah, someone tried to make a legit obsidian blade sword in a forge. Didn't work. Interesting videos. I saw that where they tried to cast. They tried to cast obsidian, and then they like had to. It lost all its darkness, so they had to add like cobalt and I think nickel into the glass to darken it up. And then every time they tried to cast it, it just ended up breaking anyway. So. Yeah, no, you have to get raw obsidian and find a piece big enough that you can like chip at it like the Indians did. I have a huge like a block of obsidian like this big in front of my house. It used to be a friend of mine's, but he moved and didn't want to move it, and so I went over there and I took it before.
Mr. Burner?
Yeah, Mr. Burner. Someone tried to make a legit obsidian sword. Forge and why?
We have two of them.
I love talking smack about the current dating scene. Don't mind me. I am drawing too. I prefer more realistic style. I'm eating Taco Bell right now. I saw that too. Alright. 1. Entertain. 2. Stand for free speech, self-defense, and property rights. 3. Hurry up and take my money. I'm happy to take anybody's money.
Yes.
You are all free to throw as much money as you like at me. And I will appreciate every single penny because I know it means that I am not wasting your time. Or at least, you don't think I'm wasting your time. And actually, that means I'm not wasting my time. Although I do like having this little familial audience who's here with me every day, watching me draw, listening to me ramble. Is that you, Isaac? Deodorant man, go. You shouldn't invite people to throw pennies at you. Those hurt. You can only throw digital money at me at this point. Heck, I could even put my cryptocurrency address up there if anybody wants to do that. David Todorov for $5. Thanks for answering my question on developing personas for new characters the other night. Super helpful. You're very welcome. Yeah, it seemed like nobody actually wanted to... Hey, boys, chill! It seemed like nobody actually wanted to answer the question seriously, and I'm like, there's a real answer for this. Yeah, it's especially if you're like writing something quick and you don't want to like spend the time, or you don't have the time to spend on trying to develop a particularly unique accent, or not accent, but way about a person, right? You just think of particular people in your life, particular people, even particular characters. You know, if you take the character of like Han Solo, right? Everybody knows Han Solo's character, and
I look like Jesus, so they say, but Mr. Jesus,
oh, I can't answer that. I can't answer that yet. Is Bitcoin legit, Mike? It is legit. It is legit. It's in a downturn right now, so it's actually probably a pretty good time to pick it up. But everybody, boy, now I'm changing topics. So you take Han Solo's personality and you apply it to, you know, a different character, and then you do your own little, twists and whatnot. But you still maintain that same core, personality-wise. It really gives you a good starting point and a unique voice to each of your characters. So, and plus you're not going to be just repeating stuff that person would say. It's like you'd find other ways to say things that remind you of that personality. Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. You know what? All of the technological talking heads, the futurists, the people who are in the space and designing the future of the internet, they all believe firmly in cryptocurrencies. And so if they're the guys designing the future and they believe in that being the future, then I mean, who am I to say they're wrong? I see a lot of people scared about it, but yeah, who am I to say they're wrong? Who are you to say they're wrong? 4 to 6. Wait. What do you think about the theory that Bran is actually the Night King? Bran is the Night King. I haven't heard that theory.
You're talking to yourself.
I'm talking to my peoples.
That aren't talking.
They are. They're writing me in text.
You got super chat for $8.
It's $5.
Thing. Please send 24 bucks so I can get this new video game. It's called
117. Alright, that's an interesting theory. But that would sort of fit in with what I was saying before. But I don't think Bran would try to kill Jon unless he just completely lost himself. So like Bran as like a future version of himself coming back and controlling. I don't know. I think that would get way too convoluted with time travel and whatnot. And Bran's not technically time traveling. He's just seeing stuff that has already happened. So he's not going back in time and controlling anything, which is what would be required in order for him to be the Night King, because he'd have to go back in time, control the Night King, and then what? Attack? No, I don't think that's a viable theory. There are some videos about it. Well, if they address the points that I just made, then let me know what they said, because yeah, I don't think that's possible. It's not anything that George has set up. Like George does setups so that the first crazy thing that happens isn't, or when a crazy thing happens to a major character, he's got a setup previous to that, like Beric Dondarrion being resurrected, so that later on Catelyn Stark could be resurrected, right? So he doesn't do things like, he's not going to pull some time travel thing out of his butt at the last minute. He's not going to write a Deus Ex Machina into this story arc. I like the idea that the Bran is the reason that the Mad King went mad. I don't think I've even heard that one. I have not been watching these crazy videos. Uh-oh. Mommy, that's JoJo's alarm. Is Mommy here?
No.
She's not?
I'm gonna go check.
Go check. Hurry up. I do like the theory that throughout the story there has only ever been one Bran. Well, the alarm went off, so he should be here soon. Oh. He's here. Oh, wait. No. Bus just drove right past. What the heck? Oh, it's going in the other direction. Payment processors. Okay, let's try to stick to some Game of Thrones topics. I will talk about cryptocurrency if you want, but yeah, let's stick to Game of Thrones since I'm drawing Jon Snow, otherwise known as was it Rhaegar? Wait, Aegon. That's right, Aegon. Aegon would be the 5th? Aegon the 5th or 6th? Something like that? Aegon Targaryen. Maybe we're pronouncing it wrong all the time. It's gone. Does Bran use cryptocurrency? Bran doesn't believe in currency. Bran is a socialist. Game of Thrones is my favorite anime. Is there an anime of Game of Thrones? You're kidding, right? That would be pretty interesting. I think there might be a manga of it. I'm not sure. If there's not, there should be. What is the current rate on Hodor coin? Oh my gosh, there probably is a Hodor coin. Let me see. Coin market cap.
That's easy.
I actually contacted HBO about doing a Game of Thrones based like massive or like an online game using a cryptocurrency, and oh, this is taking forever. Hold on.
I have to do it every day.
Just so you can kick me
I
out.
have viewers. Gosh.
And then you kick me out.
It's just like video games.
Let's see, Hodor. I don't know if there's a Hodor coin. Looks like the 7-day price graph is pretty good on crypto right now. Might have been. It might have hit bottom already. Hodor.
No, you don't.
Come on now, search. Darn it. Computer's taking too long. There's no Hodor coin. Oh, you're making funnies. All right, you're wasting my time. I see what you're doing. I see how you are.
I'm using.
Wasting my time. I only believe in decentralized open ledger coins. Sounds great.
It has a helicopter.
Yeah, I thought it would be good, and because you know,
What if I can?
they had Pied Piper come out and say they were doing a coin, and then somebody went in and actually made a Pied Piper coin, but it wasn't HBO, and last I checked, they were actually, gosh darn it, now you guys have me talking about cryptocurrency. All right, no, back to Game of Thrones. ADA or Ripple is an altcoin. Safe bet is ADA or Ripple has an altcoin. Wow, a lot of you guys are into crypto. This is funny. Can I use Dave and Buster money in MMOs? Yeah, so the idea was to create a world. I already had sort of a video game world based on a card game that I designed, and I have a whole game doc and everything for it. And I was like, I want to do this, but I want to do it based on Game of Thrones, and then I want to have a actual cryptocurrency like Golden Dragons cryptocurrency, and then you could break the dragons up into smaller bits and call them silver stags or coppers or whatever you want to call them. And I was supposed to get back in touch with him. He was like out of the country, and I was supposed to get back in touch with him, but I didn't, and I got busy, and now the market's down a bit, so I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know. They might be into it, but I don't have the time for it now.
Isaac.
I could probably hire some people. I could probably still put together the pitch if like some people wanted to get together and actually do all the work, because I can't, because I don't have time for it. If I could give them the design, give them the game doc, give them the design, have them build out sample stuff or whatever, and then pitch that properly to HBO. Who knows? They might do it, and that could be really cool. I mean, I think if you have as far as adoption goes, gosh, you guys really got me started on freaking. Well, at least it's Game of Thrones related cryptocurrency. As far as adoption goes, adoption I think is going to have to take place in entertainment. Probably first, rather than the people that are swapping imaginary money on Roblox, or where else do they trade money?
On Roblox, like every Robux worth.
Yeah, like Robux on Roblox. There's already millions of users who are trading a digital currency.
Robux are tied to the dollar.
But they're tied to the dollar. Okay. But if they weren't tied to the dollar, if they were their own cryptocurrency, it would be an instant, an easy and understandable transfer of wealth, I guess, is how you could probably say it. In all honesty, I don't know how George R. R. Martin is able to write Game of Thrones. There's so many different storylines, I would lose my mind trying to keep it all together. Yeah, it's funny. I remember one time I was talking to George about, this is like way back, like 2004, 2003, 2004. And I was, asking him about something about a particular house. And he starts going off on like this entire history of this house and all this stuff, and I'm like, wow, you just have this entire world in your head, don't you? And he's like, yeah. Like,
No,
that's
Mike
crazy.
was talking about it.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Safe bet. Ninja, get the stream.
Yeah.
Samsung Note 8 to live stream on. I've only got a Samsung Note 8 to live stream on, so I'll see computer illiterate. I tried a live stream on my Note 4. It heats up. It heats up and then it quits. So I don't know. I think iPhones. I don't know if the newer phones are better at it, but I think iPhones are better at not heating up. So I was thinking about maybe just grabbing like a used iPhone off of eBay or something, just to use as a camera.
Buy a webcam.
Or a webcam.
Okay.
But the iPhone I could use.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably just get a webcam.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Evening, Zach Hawkins. Did he mention the car?
He's gonna send a picture of it.
Skeets, skeets. You wanna get on camera? Let's see. I'm gonna do a bush right here. Let's see.
So then the lady said, he's super happy to be on the bus. I said, probably because he wants to go to a certain store. And Ryan came over and goes, how are they the first thing.
One of these. I'm trying to remember. Let me read the book again. Shoot, I closed the chapter.
Mommy, you fixing your show?
Yeah, Daddy might have to take him tomorrow.
Tomorrow what?
Oh wait, what time?
It's 385, 391.
I have practice on
I
one.
have to know what time because I might have a job tomorrow.
No, you don't have any jobs done. It's probably going to be all right.
Yeah, darn it. I forgot what page it was.
That's your job.
Alright, I'll just draw it. I'll just draw a bush.
Sure.
A happy little bush.
$15 an hour.
I'm gonna draw a happy little bush. I PayPal'd you for a cam. Can't
$15 an hour.
use the wish list.
$2.
Oh, is that what that $55 was for? Ah, let me read that again. Option for cam for December. So look forward to LONESTAR. Keep up your work. Oh, right on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. A happy little bush. Good on you, 3D Ron. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all so much. Whew. Can you go? Never mind. I'll be right back. Oh, it is running. Why is this so fucking hot in here? Let me turn my fan on. Ah. It's so hot in here, hot in here. Well, I think John looks pretty good so far. What do you guys think? You like it? You like it? No more potato cam. You guys are terrible.
You should just read potato comic strip.
My brother in Christ, but my son in life, wants me to mention once again his webtoon strip, Bud the Spud. So please check that out.
Just hit 100 likes.
He just hit 100 likes, so congratulations to Elijah for his Bud the Spud success. How many subscribers?
How many subscribers have guys?
39.
39 subscribers.
Including
Alright.
me.
Including me, too.
So, 37.
Bud the Spud is funny, Christ Energetic says.
I have
Where
a
do we
big
find
story arc coming out, so
It is on Webtoon, the app. Actually, I also have Bless This Mess up there. But I don't have that many up. I think I have
Like 200.
like 30 strips up there, maybe something like that. So, drop the link, wrenches. That's the job.
Why is the heck is
Ah.
this one's ugly? Oh, what the heck? How do you get over this? Demolish. How do you demolish?
So let's see. What were we talking about? We were talking about George having an entire universe in his brain. Yeah, I wish. I mean, I want to do that with my universe. I have all these different things, but they're all like written down, so they're not all just constantly like throttling my mind because I'm not writing them all at the same time. So I remain sane, thankfully. Oh, you guys can't even see what I'm doing because I'm down at the bottom of the page, huh? Is that better? Not that this is interesting. I'm drawing leaves on a bush. 59 people watching me draw.
You would think you're being alright.
Alright, I'm just going to kind of shorthand these leaves so that when I ink them, they'll be
Why isn't it looking
easy to understand. Gosh darn it.
less? It's nice.
So I don't want to do this into the darkness. This is going to be a pain. I might have to do this in ink. I mean with the brush. Just drawing details is one thing, but drawing details and then ink putting black around the details, it's so time consuming. And as much as I do love this and I do want to do my best work on it, I really want to get back to drawing Lone Star. Lone Star, Heart of the Hero. Lone Star. Lone Star, Heart of the Hero.
Oh, Daddy.
I'm an arborist and pruner. Bushes are awesome.
Daddy.
What?
That guy got back to me with sprites for with a sprite for LONESTAR.
Oh yeah?
That's good.
Yeah. We've got a Lone Star sprite. We've got a Lone Star sprite. And who did that?
He does not want his name disclosed.
Oh, he does not want his name disclosed. The undisclosed animator
He doesn't want to be blacklisted.
does not want to get blacklisted for his association and his beliefs. I understand. I talk to many people like that.
It's not showing.
I'm an arborist. Are you inking and coloring this piece as well? I'll be inking it. I will not be coloring it. Nanjan is coloring it. I think Nanjan's getting pretty busy. But he better stick around and do all my Lone Star stuff first, because I'm the one who brought him into DC. But he's still getting work at DC.
There. I typed in the thing.
You have it?
Oh, I just typed in the whole thing. Daddy, let's bless this mess.
Where's Bless This Mess on Webtoon? Just look up Bless This Mess.
So it's
I
like,
did.
Oh, well. Is he going to animate it?
yeah, he only gave me a standing frame right now.
Really, what?
He only gave me a standing frame.
Oh. Oh, that is sweet. Should I show it? You guys want to see the what do you call it? The sprite for Lone Star? Who wants to see the Lone Star sprite? I gotta move the
I
camera.
haven't scaled it
Ooh.
with the rest of the game yet.
Alright, let's make sure we don't show anything. That's cool. Move it. Obviously not animated yet. Ooh, you need a shower, kid. So, very, very cool. Very, very cool. All right. Back onto my stand.
It's not here, Daddy.
Back to the stand. What? Less this mess isn't there?
You never spelled it.
Yes.
Mess.
Nothing there.
Right there, knucklehead.
I don't see it.
Hijab's good. It looks good, cool. Moves so naturally. He doesn't move at all yet. He doesn't move at all yet. But it does look cool. How is Lone Star coming along? Lone Star is coming along. Here's page 27. I'm going to ink this as soon as I'm done inking this cover for Game of Thrones. Clash of Kings. Game of Thrones Part 2. And so, yes. Chester Busby is here with his wrench. So, yeah. For anyone new, again, I don't think I said it in the... I think I said it only in the deleted one. LoneStarComic.com. LoneStarComic.com is my... If you like the Game of Thrones covers, if you like my Injustice work, then you will love Lone Star, because I am putting every bit of effort and love into this new project.
You didn't try.
Huh? Are you trying to talk to me?
Okay.
Oh. So please go to LoneStarComic.com. Check out the IndieGoGo. It is still up there as an in-demand store for the next, I believe, 3 weeks. Gonna try to get the book all penciled by then. Penciled and inked by then. 3 weeks? 3 weeks? Can I do it in 3 weeks? No, I probably can't. I really don't want to rush anything. I want to make sure this is my best work. So I can't promise 3 weeks. But as soon as I'm done and ready to go to print, I'm going to shut down that store. Because I will set my print run. And right now I think I'm at about 1,500 orders. 1,500 orders, which will probably bring me up to somewhere around a print run of 4,500 to 5,000. But yeah, I need an absolute number before I can guarantee. So yes. Back Lone Star on IndieGoGo. I'm not gonna rush it. I'm like super opposed to missing deadlines. But I gave myself a September deadline for this, thinking that I could actually work while I was doing the IndieGoGo, and that 30 days was so crazy busy that I didn't get that time to work on it. So, I mean, I was hoping to be actually done drawing it by now, and then it should be in colors. I should be dealing with printers. I should be doing all that stuff. So September looks like it was a overly optimistic goal, but I'm gonna try my best. I am a fast artist, but I don't want to rush anything in Lone Star. I want it to be as close to perfect as I can make a book. I can wait. I prefer quality. I hope everyone feels that way too. I don't want to be Marvel and DC where I'm just trying to jam out books because I'm on a monthly deadline. Yeah, the quality on those, the entire industry is like that. It's like, oh, monthly deadline, get it out. Doesn't matter how good it is, get it out. That has been the career of or my experience in the industry my entire career. So it's like, it's sad. It is sad, 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 I have to say. So, bushes, shrubberies, shrubberies. With a shrubbery! Just make sure it's exactly like you want it. Yes. Well, you know, I can't make it exactly like I want it because I'm not as good as I want to be. But I also can't, I'm a realist, so I can't sit here and wait for my skill set to be, you know, on the level of some of the other guys I like, just in order to get this book done. So I'm going to do the best that I possibly can at this current level of my skill, and then hope for the best. Make it worth the wait, and we'll be happy. Dang you, draw. Dang you, draw. I'm drawing. I'm drawing, master. You are actually great with clothing. Well, thank you. Yeah, I like drawing clothing. I don't know. I guess I don't want to say I got bored drawing, you know, people in spandex and stuff, but I think I find clothing more entertaining. With those deadlines, did you pick and choose your favorite frames to work on, or just beginning to end? Oh no, I work beginning to end. Page 1 to page 44. That's the way I'm going. So yeah. So when I show you page 27 is in progress, that means I have, after this I have 21 pages to go because I am in order. And then if I do any ancillary work, that should be fun too. Spandex is going to come back. Just you wait. I do have characters that wear spandex, but it's because they make sense as the characters. Like Superhero G is the creation of a child's imagination, so therefore he is wearing the appropriate attire for the superhero of a child's imagination, which would be spandex, yes. I appreciate your humility, Mike, but you're one of the best. Oh, thank you, Dan. I appreciate your compliment. I can only try my best.
Then I was like feeling sick too.
These are probably not the kind of trees you would see in a northern city or a northern climate, but I have a tree outside my window and I usually reference that. So this is a great page. Art is like magic to me. It's like magic to you, huh? So what I'll do is I will give this one, you know, some lighting from here, but I will blend it into the darkness. And then I'll just do dark shadowed trees behind him, because this is supposed to be in the dark of night, and the only light source is his actual torch. And then I do want this. Actually, I don't want to do that. I'll leave it to the colorist, and I'll tell him to make sure that he does cool light reflections on that thing. You'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. And I thank God you're alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Da 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 da. I wear spandex every day. It helps when lifting heavy things. I don't think you had to explain that was a joke, Christ Energetics. But thank you anyways. Because we were worried about you there for a second. Chester is the future. What do you guys think? Should I give leaves to this tree or just have it be like dead trees? I think leaves. Winter is coming, but it's not here yet. Even though he is north of the wall. I could even give it some different, interesting leaves instead of just regular, boring leaves. No leaves. It is winter. It's not winter. It's not winter. He's in the north, but it's still it's the long autumn. Winter is coming. Remember these. This is in the second book, so winter has not come yet. You should do more duets with your kid and Uncle E. This is Jon Snow. Yes, this is Jon Snow. He knows nothing. I don't know if you got the note. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Nothing, nothing. Poor Ygritte. That stupid little girl. She know nothing. Mike said he's supposed to have a long face. It's supposed to be Colby on the wall. I know it's Game of Thrones, but who is the character? Are you... Why... Oh, yeah, Jon has a long face in the books. This isn't based on the show. I never... Unless it's a commission, I never draw Game of Thrones stuff based on the show. Maybe I should have. Probably could have sold more prints and stuff, but no, I like it. I like the books better than the show, so I base everything on the shows. If he needs gloves, no leaf on trees. Alright, let me get this up a little higher again. Well, what you're saying is that no, because it's described. The trees and bushes, you know, it's not described as being covered in snow. Wait. Dang it, now I have to read it again.
Oh, that's to be the Christmas one.
It was page... What the heck? Oh no. What was the last one I did? It was 16, right? Yeah. Okay. Page 381, 389, page 3. This might be a moot point anyways, but... Oh yeah, he's not digging through snow. He's just brushing away loose soil. Loose, sandy, pulled away around this one. Yeah, and it's funny because he is in the north. He's north of the wall at the Fist of the First Men. Yeah, see, the trees stood beneath him, warriors armored in bark and leaf. Bark and leaf. deployed in their silent ranks, awaiting the command to storm the hill. Black they seemed. It was only when the torchlight brushed against them that John glimpsed a flash of green, faintly, and he heard the sounds of water flowing over rocks. So yeah, not snow. Maybe I shouldn't have had him in gloves. Ah, well. He's got gloves on now. Crap. Mike, do you print out your prints for yourself, or do you order them from a company? Yeah, I have them ordered from a local printer. Yes, I was wrong. He was not digging through snow. Maybe I should take this glove off of him. Wouldn't be too hard. I'll just do this. Tree on page is not evergreen. I know. Oh, I like the glove.
You did that.
I know the tree on the page is not an evergreen. You know, this is a fantasy world, right? You understand that. This is a fantasy world where trees somehow stay in bloom for years, sometimes decades, if it's a long winter or a long spring or a long summer. And so yes, even the perennials live. They live. Green leaves. Fantasy world where everyone dies except some ambiguous personified prophecy of ice and fire. Are you talking smack, Will? Talking smack about Game of Thrones? That sounds like what you're doing. We've got a heretic in the chat. I cannot disagree or agree or disagree. My wrench may be in peril. Mike usually eats his erasers. No, I don't. I dip them in coffee first. Now his hand will get all calloused. Yeah, but now I have to put him in what are you doing? Stop making noise, man. Probably just cuff like this and then wrap his wrist. There we go. That'll do, that'll do. See, I can change things on the fly.
Oh, that should be.
Yeah, I had too much of the show on my mind. You know how in the show it's like the north is just all covered in snow. It's like, but that's not the way it is in the show, in the books. North of the wall, that is. I have never watched or read Game of Thrones. Cover looks nice. Thank you, Aqualad. My blue mic just arrived, so I'm stuck. Oh, sweet! Sketch Therapy is about to take over the YouTube world. So everybody, make sure you sub to Sketch Therapy so you don't miss any of his. What are you gonna be doing, Sketch? What's your first? You got anything lined up? That looks much better. Okay, well thank you for thinking that. Except for this curve is not right. He's turning his wrist. This. This should be about this. Then Yeah, about like that. That's more like it. Want to be the QVC of Comicsgate, except I won't lie. Give him a hickey. A hickey? He has not yet met Egret. He's yet to meet Egret. I made a video about Omarosa. I would love to get a different point of view on it. Thank you. Omarosa is a wretch of a human being. She's terrible. Man, I mean, honestly, I never liked her. Even in The Apprentice, I never liked her. I didn't like bringing her in to the White House. Just something about her, I always just, I don't know. Didn't like it. Didn't like her. And now, my gut feeling has been proven correct. I'm surprised Trump, I wonder if Trump was doing a sort of a keep your enemies close thing with her, because I think he's got better sense than that. Omarosa is a leaker. Frozen Mike, winter is coming. Frozen Mike, what? Lama Gigante, what are you asking? Mike, I can kick Liam if you like. Liam, why? What did Liam say? A giant llama. He threw a dog a bone. He threw a dog a bone. Ah! Mike is very sensitive about his erasers. The video's fine now. It was frozen, but no longer. Oh, okay. Alright, so I guess that's all done. What I can do back here, again, like I said, is just do some sort of... I'll probably just paint in bushes with the brush, make it up as I go, because that's very simple to do. And then I'm going to throw some other trees back here. Yeah, it does make, I mean, obviously it's with these decades-long winters or years-long winters and stuff, it doesn't make sense in reality. But, you know, it is what it is.
Miniature ice ages.
Miniature ice ages. Yeah, but those trees would probably die, and then like the seeds, when it warmed up, the seeds would sprout again. That's not what happens in this. These trees stay alive.
In the winter?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They have long winters, and then they have long summers and long falls.
Old trees can adapt to that condition.
Yeah. Trees do adapt. They're very adaptive. So I've done a lot of work with Wolfcast PSers aside from guesting on streams. As long as you have goal, every step gets you closer. Right. Didn't Omarosa bring her wedding party into the White House? Out security? I don't know. Only read the first book. How many Game of Thrones books are there now? 5. My llamas are theoretical.
Well, that's not right.
Alright, I'm going to leave this area here clear. All these trees here are going to be in black. Black, and black. Alright, and then I'll do some leaves and stuff up here too. But I'm going to paint all that in so I don't have to draw it per se. Oh, I do probably have to give a little more detail to this wooden. With long winters, man, the roots giant. Giant roots, long winters. Burning bundles of rags, strips of rags. Dipped probably in oil. Oil-soaked rags. Make for good torches. Yeah.
You should do a video of you drawing Blessed Smith.
A video of me drawing Blessed Smith. You just want me to draw more Blessed Smith. Okay, I am going to take a moment to myself. Are you self-taught? How did you get started drawing? I will answer that when I return. I will be back shortly. Elijah or Micah, you want to take over and answer questions?
I don't know what they're doing.
We'll co-host.
What should we answer questions about?
I don't know. Let's call this the Micah hour.
Yeah, oh my god, hour.
No, Micah is not taking a pee-bake. A pee-bake, yeah.
What?
Of course we like cookies.
Yes, cookies.
Ah, I just thought of an embarrassing moment with my dad yesterday. So I was in the car yesterday on the way back from youth group, and him and my sister, you know how they love show tunes. They just kept singing Rocky Horror Picture Show the entire time, and it was really annoying. That's all I remember. Sorry to disappoint. Like, you have any embarrassing daddy moments?
I don't know.
No? The game, it's coming out slowly because I'm still getting used to Game Maker Studio 2. So, yeah. It's coming though. I fixed the game breaking bug the other day, so I'm happy about that. That's Tuesday. Yeah, that's all I got. He's not very embarrassing. Nothing.
Are they asking you for embarrassing stories again?
He always does.
The problem is nothing embarrasses me. I'm one of those people. Very difficult to embarrass. You guys should eat more cake. Remember that time your dad doxed himself? Ha ha ha, you're funny. Alright, I'm gonna turn this. See, I don't get embarrassed about singing show tunes.
It's embarrassing.
I'm not embarrassed by it. A person has to be ashamed of something to be embarrassed by it. I have no shame.
You're ashamed of
Yes, I'm just ashamed of my children. Alright, I'm gonna do a bit of this with the brush, wearing these fantastic dollar store glasses. I do need a piece of paper to, oh no, I can make my tips there. Alright, let's see if anybody asked any interesting questions that I can answer while I ink. Or shall I tell a story? What kind of a story should I tell? What's a good story for me? Dollar store glasses for the win. I use them for close-up stuff too. I mean, yeah, they're like... You can go buy the same glasses at Target for, I don't know, more. But they're the same thing. It's just, you know, They might be better hinges or whatever, but it's not. I don't care about hinges. I just need to be able to see well. You're gonna tell us how you got started. Oh, how I got started? Started drawing or started in history? Started drawing. I am told I started drawing when I was 2 and just like never stopped. But I don't remember, so I couldn't really tell you. I know my brother Shogo loved to draw back then. I don't know why he quit. You know, so they say, you know, most kids love to draw, but then they quit, or at least have fun drawing and then they quit. But I loved it. I loved drawing, so I never quit. I would do it while my brother was out, you know, skating or riding bikes or whatever. I would sit inside and draw, watch TV. You know, I'd go play with him too. It's not like I was always sitting there. But let's change this camera angle up a little bit so you don't get my face so much, or my hair. But yeah, I guess I don't know why I developed that love. Maybe it was because I was something I was doing with my big brother. He likes to take credit for it anyways. And so I just kept doing it. When I was in, oh gosh, I don't remember what grade I was in. But when I was little, my mom also was a painter. And so she had these books on, let's see, she had one on flowers, one on horses, one on perspective, one on birds. And so I would just use the books she had to learn from. You know, she didn't sit there and teach me. That would have been nice. But I just took the books she had and I learned from those. And so actually when I had my kids drawing for an hour a day when they were younger, actually I should get back to doing that with the little ones. I wouldn't teach them so much either. I just gave them how to draw books and I said study, you know, just like we do with math or whatever. It's like, here's your homework, do your homework. But yeah, so I self-taught from those books, and then eventually I got like How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, and I started drawing from comics. I would draw for the D&D manual, and just from magazines or whatever. I would grab stuff and reference and draw. I remember drawing, I was in 4th grade. I was 9 years old, and I drew this fox that, I mean, I saw it a few years ago. I don't remember where I had it. I gave it to a friend of mine, Karen Knock. I gave it to her mom because she loved it. But man, it was really like, for a 9-year-old, anybody would have been impressed, because I'd already put so much, you know, time into drawing just because I just kept doing it and kept doing it. It's not like I didn't come out of the womb being able to draw, right? Nobody is gifted to the point where they can just do things without having to learn the skill. But by 9 years old, I had already learned enough of the skill that I was doing some, you know, not original stuff, but like I could copy stuff well. Learning how to create original stuff was still, you know, still years and years and years of more skills to be learned. So, gosh, I wish I could find that. I had it somewhere. I showed it like years ago. But yeah, and then, so I was drawing comic book stuff into college, and you know, I didn't know if you could make a living doing comic books, but I wanted to do, just like Art T. Bear. It was funny that he said the same thing, that he wanted to do movie posters. That was kind of like where I was trying to head with my art. And as I've said before, thank God I didn't, because now all the movie posters are just are photos and photoshopped photos. So it's like, yay, what fun would that be? Not really. I mean, not for me anyways. I mean, I could certainly do it. It's a pretty easy skill to learn for me. But boring. Boring. So yeah, I heard while I was in junior college, Deanza, yo, that Ron Lim was making $30,000 a month. And I'm like, Ron Lim's making $30,000 a month. I can draw comic books. So I gathered up some of my stuff, some of my samples that I was just drawing for fun. Took them into, well, I mean, at that point, pretty much everything I had ever drawn, I had just drawn for fun, which was a lot of stuff, because I loved drawing for fun. It was fun. Took it to WonderCon in Oakland at the time, and shopped it around, shopped it to, you know, stood in line at Tom Brevoort's portfolio review. Back then they used to always do portfolios at conventions, portfolio reviews at conventions, because they were looking for talent, and you know, there was no internet. This was 1992, for Pete's sake. And they would find people, they would, you know, if they liked it, they'd give them their card, or they'd get their contact information, tell them to keep submitting stuff every 6 months, until they got to a point where they thought they were good enough to work for Marvel. And so I remember, oh, not Tom Brevoort, Tom DeFalco. He was like EIC at Marvel. I don't know if he was at that moment, but I remember him asking if I was tracing my stuff, and I'm like, what? I'm like, no. And he's, you know, he was saying that it was, some of it was pretty inconsistent, and you know, it was, but I was a young, cocky kid back then, so I didn't like that particular critique. But he was right. But then I had met Jeff Johnson the week prior at a Bay Area Comic Club meeting. He was the special guest, and I had shown my stuff to him at that meeting after the meeting was over, and he dug it, and he's like, yeah. So I saw him the next week at WonderCon, and I told him, you know, I hadn't had any luck getting work. He thought I was good enough to get work. But, so he told me to go over to Malibu. He's like, go to Malibu and talk to Chris, you know, ask for Chris Ohm. And, so I did. I walked over there. I was like, hey, Jeff Johnson sent me. He wanted me to show you some stuff. He's like, okay. So I literally had all my stuff in a brown grocery bag. Like, that's how professional I was. And I opened it up, and I showed him my stuff, and he loved it. And he's like, you know, this is great. He's all, here's my card. We'll get you work. We'll get you started. And I was like, overjoyed, so stoked. And so, you know, that was like Saturday, I think. And then Sunday, Monday comes, and I didn't want him to forget about me. So I took this drawing that I had of Colossus wearing the wizard robes and hat, and I reduced it, or I had a photocopy of it. I wrote on the photocopy, hey, don't forget about me, in a little word balloon, and I faxed it into the Malibu offices. Attention Chris Ulm. 5 minutes later, Chris calls me, and he's like, is this how you ink? And I'm like, yeah. Now, granted, at the time, this was a reduced drawing, inked with a rapidograph, which is a technical pencil, this is not what people ink with. And it was faxed, which means you couldn't really see much of anything anyways. It's very, for those of you who are unfamiliar with faxes, it's like a very low resolution. I wouldn't even count it as 72 dpi, probably like 50 dpi. And just black and white, no gray tones or anything like that. So it was not a good piece of artwork to judge whether or not somebody could ink, but I'm like, well, you wanted, you were going to give me penciling work. Oh, yeah, I'll give you penciling work. We just need an inker right away. And so I was like, okay, fine. So I started taking the inking work. He passed me over to, was it Hank? It might have been Hank Canals for some of that stuff. Hank is now like, I think maybe editor-in-chief or something at DC, something like that. Hank is also the guy who did the dialogue in the first Youngblood for Rob, because Image started there pretty soon after I started working at Malibu. Image came on board, and Malibu published Image, so there was a lot of crossover with Malibu people and Image people. But anyways, so I started inking there, started getting other work, started doing covers for Malibu. I was doing like the Protectors newsstand, the Protectors newsstand covers. Back then, comics also came out on newsstands and spinner racks and stuff, and so they would do different covers for the direct market and for the newsstand market. And so that was kind of my shtick there for a while. And then I got work at for oh gosh, what came first?
Chicken or the egg?
Not sure which came first. Working for Eric on Freak Force, or doing Cable number 12. They kind of came about at the same time. My first penciling work at Marvel was Cable issue 12. And it was not long after. I think it was 1993, so it was like the next year. That is what he is texting to his friends. You guys ever play in the Midwest? You guys are just having a little conversation in there without me. So, yeah. That's my story. You guys sound like you're bored of me talking about it because you're just talking amongst yourselves. So I'm done. I'm good. There's more to it, but meh. Talking amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. Listen and chatting, Mike. Please continue. Please continue. Well, yeah. What can I say? What can I say? 26 6 years later, here I am. Drawing Game of Thrones. Drawing Game of Thrones, working on my own project, selling it to you fine folks on IndieGoGo. That's LoneStarComic.com on IndieGoGo. You know what I've started doing is advertising. I don't know if you guys have seen my ads on any other channels. Have you? Has anyone seen my Injustice Artist Creates New Universe ad on any of the other channels? Anyone? 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 I was actually really into your story. How do I get lines this smooth with a brush? Skill, brother, skill. Just take some skill. What? Ad blocker? You have an ad blocker? Well, I'm trying to spread the good word without just constantly relying on getting on other people's channels. So I am advertising across the YouTube land. Honestly, if we want to grow this, I think everyone should be advertising across the YouTube land. But I can't force anyone else to spend money. But it's worth it to me, so I think it's a wise decision. It pays to advertise. Which videos could they appear on? Well, a lot of it is, you know, keyword ads, but I do have some targeted channels, like Ethan's channel is targeted, and Comic Storian, and Diversity in Comics. I'm putting my money in their ads, so hopefully it'll work. Tokyo's nice, but I prefer the countryside. After this wave is released, it will come much faster. What is happening with the Injustice thing? What Injustice thing? Could you specify more?
He was talking about the ad.
Oh no! You know, if you go to LoneStarComic.com, I put a new video commercial up, and because I'm trying to reach my Injustice fans who are YouTubers, to bring them into this fold and to make them part of this community. And so what I'm doing is I created that ad for that purpose, and now I am paying to get that ad out to out to the broader comic reading, comic enjoying Injustice fan audience out there in YouTube land. See, I got plans. Are you planning on doing any more You Can Draw videos? Personally, I'd love to see them. Yeah, I'll do them as I have time. I have been fairly preoccupied lately. I don't know if you've noticed. Yeah, and even doing this piece here, it's hard because I do love Game of Thrones and I do love doing this, but my first love right now is Lone Star, and I'd really rather be working on that. The problem is there's only one of me, and there's so many things I want to be working on that it's very difficult to do everything. I mean, it's impossible to do everything, frankly. Like a glove. There's inkers that either push or pull, but really you can do either. You can do both. You don't have to be a one way or the other kind of inker. It's chill, bruh. It's chill. What's the very first character you ever came up with? Oh my goodness, as a child? Let me think about that. I used to come up with like sheets of characters, but I didn't really like put any thought into them. It was just like I was just trying to come up with as many characters as I could, and just, you know, with names and costumes, and they were a bunch of knockoffs, of course. Wolverine knockoffs, Cyclops knockoffs, stuff like that. Knockoffs. I had one character I came up with probably in 6th grade, 7th grade. But he was a comic strip character, not a comic book character. He was called Mr. Happy. And yes, I know they've done Mr. Happy stuff since then, but this was 1984, so I came up with him first. But he was sort of a mildly retarded guy who was just happy about everything, and just like, I'm Mr. Happy. And he had a little one of those happy face pins. Maybe I'll put him in a book someday. Hey there, who are you? Yeah, Mr. Happy. I'm happy.
Like Arnold.
Like retarded Arnold. I'm Mr. Happy. Hello. It would be cool to see Mrs. Miller paint Lone Star. Oh, you mean my mom? Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be fun. She watches these videos sometimes. It's funny.
No!
It is funny. I think almost the entirety of my mom's social media consists of reading stuff that I post on Facebook, which I hardly post anything anymore. I posted something yesterday because a friend of mine passed away, and I just found out about it yesterday. So she saw that, and we talked about it today for a little bit. Facebook equals the new MySpace. Yeah, so, seriously, Facebook is like dwindling away into obscurity. Mr. Happy versus Bud the Spud.
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale. Aren't you happy too?
I want to see that now.
I probably have some drawing of him back in all that stuff in the garage. But yeah, you know what? Gosh, what was his name? What's the name of the guy that created Rocko's Modern World?
No.
Guys in the stream. Rocko's Modern World creator. Oh, thank you for your condolences, Lama Gigante. Yeah, he was a good guy. Old friend from high school. I'm waiting. Joe Murray, yes. Okay, so I created Mr. Happy after I met Joe Murray in 7th grade, I think it was. Joe Murray actually attended my middle school about, I don't know, 5 or 10 years earlier. I don't remember, frankly. And so this was before he created Rocco. He was still a struggling cartoonist trying to make his way in the world. And so he came to our class at the behest of our shared art teacher, Mrs. Miller, or Miss Miller, Peggy Miller. And yeah, he came in and gave us like lessons on cartooning and stuff. The advanced placement art class. And so yeah, he kind of encouraged me to create my own character, and that's where Mr. Happy came from. It's all because of Joe Murray. Isn't that funny? I remember, after he gave his little speech and everything, he asked if there were any questions, and nobody had any questions, so I raised my hand. I'm like, how long did it take you how long did you work on your signature? And everybody else in the class, turned and looked at me like I was out of my mind, but he knew exactly what I was talking about. It's like, yeah, actually, it took me a while. It's like nobody else thought about their signature besides me and my buddy Matt. Maybe Kent Secchi, who is now, gosh, what does he do? He was a director, I think, maybe at DreamWorks or something like that. We had some talented folks, some smart, skilled folks in our Castello High School class of whatever. But yeah, then Matt went on to work at PDI. He designed some stuff with Shrek. Somebody once told me. And yeah, so Matt and he. And my other friend, Derek, went on to found. It doesn't matter. We've got some friends who went on to do some cool stuff. One of my friends actually ended up working for the CIA. And he was a high school dropout, which was funny. High school was too slow for him. Where's my senpai anyway? Back Lone Star on IndieGoGo or else. Yes, please do. It has been, I think, maybe because it's in the store mode instead of in the campaign mode, it just slows down. It slowed down probably about average 40%, sometimes even more. And yeah, I could really use more support on Lone Star. So if you guys would continue to spread the good news about Lone Star, I would greatly appreciate it. Because it's not over till it's over. It's not over till it's over. No, that's not actually a song. It's over. It's settled. The Chester that lives in my head is a smash outline. Have you ever made a Spider-Man drawing? Yeah, of course. I've drawn. I actually drew Spider-Man on the. What was it? I drew Spider-Man in. It's like something related to the Fantastic Four, I remember. Is it that freaking What If I did? Oh, gosh, I don't even remember. But professionally, yeah, I've drawn Spider-Man. And then, of course, I have drawn him for, for fun A for commissions and for prints. So Spider-Man. Probably more commissions than anything. A lot of people do like Spider-Man, so he is friendly. And he's from your neighborhood. I think Mr. Happy would fit right in with other books like Bigfoot Bill and Rainbow Brute. Mr. Happy! I just figured Mr. Happy would be like Jim Carrey type of character. Of course, I don't think Jim Carrey was around back then. Or, I mean, at least he wasn't, you know, he hadn't been on In Living Color yet. Mr. Happy Canadian? Why? Because I said he's slightly retarded? This animosity between America and Canada is kind of funny. It's totally not even real. I just think your government is stupid. Mike's old. Mike is old. How did you know? How did you know about that? I will be 47. Oh crap, what's today? I'll be 47 next week. Or technically this week. I'll be 47 this week. I'm not old. I'm 47. I'm not old. He called an old lady a racist bigot and threw her out of a press event for asking why tax dollars pay for illegal migrants. Okay, I don't know who you're talking about. Sending a stripper to my house. The best people were born in 72. I was born in 71, yo. 71! Time of great turmoil. Joe Trudeau, our failed PM. That guy's such a soy boy. Wow. His face should be next to soy. What happens when you feed your children too much soy in their developing stages? 70 here. Mwahaha. Good for you, Chester. Good for you. Oh man, I am getting hungry. Unfortunately, our pizza is like 3 days old, and I'm not going to eat it. I should probably throw it away. Oh gosh, I'm out of screen again. Sorry. I keep trying to do it so that you can actually see what I'm doing, and then I keep moving where I'm working on the page. I'm not going to do this whole thing with the quill, or with the brush. I am going to go in and detail some stuff with the quill at some point. Although I think the brush would be faster. The world is a stage. The world leaders just play their parts. Mike's going to have a great birthday. Hopefully my freaking IndieGoGo money will be here by then. Got people I gotta pay, yo. I hate owing people money. I want phone. Mommy, I want phone. Why is IndieGoGo trying to screw you anyhow? That is rather odd. I don't know why it's taking so long when Nasser got his money before I did, and his campaign ended after mine. So I don't know. I have no idea. Then I heard somebody say like, "Oh, IndieGoGo finally paid me," and I'm like, "Oh, that doesn't sound good. I just need some cash, man. Like pronto." It's kind of not. I'm not gonna worry about it, but I got needs. I got needs that multiplying. And I gotta pay my mortgage. I got debt collectors, they're electrifying. You gotta pay up if you want a credit score. 'Cause it all is based on you paying your bills. You gotta pay up. If you want some more credit to fall upon you. Doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doo. You're the one that I want. It's my money they want. Do what? It's my money they want. Do what? Do what about it? Actually, it's my money I want. Nasser is in the chat. Nasser 9000. Don't you have things to do other than getting into people's chats? Excuse my typos. I have EVS thumbs. NasserBot is everywhere. Beep beep boop. You know, we watched Alien Covenant last night. I'm starting to really like Prometheus now. Oddly. Because I'm starting to appreciate how he was willing to like take a slow road to get to Alien. You know, because it's a prequel and it shows like how the aliens were created. I don't know. It made me like Prometheus more because you know, my complaint about Prometheus is well, how is this an alien? I mean, I saw how it was an alien prequel, but it was like so far removed from Alien that I didn't appreciate it. But seeing Alien Covenant, which again you don't get a lot of alien in because the final form of the alien wasn't created until toward the end of the movie. But I think seeing it on the whole, it made me appreciate it more. So I don't think they should do another one. Because I think it just kind of goes, well, I mean, I guess you could tell the story of how that one planet got decimated by the aliens before discovered by Ripley in Alien. But I don't think it's necessary, but it could still be a good story. A very sad story because nobody survives. But that seems to be the milieu. Nobody survives. No one here gets out alive. Oh, the original script for Prometheus is better than the movie, huh? That's interesting. Is there a director's cut of Prometheus? I haven't seen it. Covenant ruined the entire franchise, in your opinion? I don't see that. It's... I don't know why you'd say that. What's your argument? Just deleted scenes.
Would we order for the day?
Can you still see, or am I in the way? Do the texture on those with a quill, because it's a different texture than the cloth. Covenant retcons the aliens. I hated that. Retcons them from what perspective, though? I mean, it just feels like it explains what their origin is, rather than being some random, alien out of nowhere that just a purposeless killing machine. I don't know. I like that. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe it is retconning. I don't know. I don't know the original, if there was a different original purpose to the aliens. It's not like, I don't recall them having some sort of a greater explanation of their origin in the other movies. Ninja says, I've got a Lone Star character, but you beat me to it. LOL, so the name is yours. Not ever going to try to compete with you. You know what sucks is I have a character I came up with a long time ago called Devil Dog. Now, granted, DC has a character named Devil Dog, but just within the Comicsgate space, now Meyer has a Devil Dog, and who was it? Dixon? It might be Dixon. Chuck has a Devil Dog character too that he's doing with somebody, maybe John. I don't remember. And I'm like, well, hell. I mean, it was bad enough that DC had one, but do I change my character's name because other people in this space have Devil Dogs? I mean, if Chuck doesn't change his because Rich has his, and that could get confusing. We don't need 3 Devil Dogs in one movement. It's not like we're one company or anything, but that might get a little redundant. Although I'm pretty sure mine's going to be the coolest. Ha 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 ha. Have you seen the original Alien movie from the 50s? No. Oh, sorry, you guys, my hair's right in the face. You guys enjoying my scalp? Kind of ruined that by having an android create a single one. I don't know why that's ruined. I think it's cool that he's, that the Prometheus, they were just trying to design a wipeout, like aliens were basically their Control Alt Delete for poorly running creations, and who knows how many they had created in this universe they have as the creators of humankind. I mean, I didn't dig that part about Prometheus. I didn't like that mythology, but I accept it as part of the alien universe. But then it turns on them. But rather than just being this destructive virus, he like tailors it over. How long was he there? I don't even remember how long he was there. He was there for a while. But manipulating it and tailoring it and sort of being like a pedigree dog trainer, trying to come up with a perfect version of this perfect killing machine. And it took the mind. It was sort of honestly, it was sort of poetic in that he had taken it upon himself to destroy humankind when it is the very same thing that the Prometheans wanted done. How'd you get a bloody nose?
I ran into a wall.
You ran into a wall? Pretty sure the wall didn't move. Isaac has a bloody nose. Still grinding. It's just working. Just working, Sierra. Boys will be boys. Yes, this is true. My boys do get bloody. Nothing for me to complain about. That's why I don't care about, showing blood in my comics, because it's like, who are you hiding this from? Like, is there a child who doesn't know what blood is, who hasn't experienced, scraping a knee or bloodying a nose or any other million things and learned what blood is? I always thought that was a little weird. I mean, maybe it's desensitizing, but better than a bunch of little queasy soy boys. I scraped my knee, Mommy! Mommy! I scraped my knee! Graveyard Shift almost got fully funded within the first hour. Oh, did that launch? Gosh, I missed it. I missed the launch. Fantastic. Good to hear. I'll have to go check that out when I'm done here, because obviously too slow. My computer is too slow to start messing around. Makes more sense to me that the predator race is who bred the aliens into perfect killing machines they became. Why does that make sense? Just for the sake of hunting them? You want to breed a killer race just to hunt them? I guess that does make a certain amount of sense, but no, I liked it. I like the explanation. Mankind is responsible for its own demise. Well, not mankind, but they're responsible for creating David. David's the one who glitches out. And that really does fit suit with the alien in the first Alien movie. Not the alien, but the android, Lance Henriksen. You know, that things do go wrong when you're trying to play God, which is what happened with the Prometheans. They were trying to play God, and things went wrong. I think that's sort of the overarching story with the alien mythos, is that playing God always backfires. And I don't even know if that was their plan, but that is sort of the overarching story. Am I right? Or am I right? Or am I right? Or am I right? Comparison is Predator are Roman gladiators and aliens are lions in the arena. Yes, that's the next line. I like the Lovecraftian mystery of aliens, something horrible and unknown. I guess I can appreciate that. Well, that fabric is popping. Glad you like it. Glad you like it. Is Mommy making anything to eat? Could you see if she would? Is she leaving or anything?
She's in the shower.
Oh, she is. Well, bollocks. Eden is making smoothies. I like the mystery as well, but Mike is right there. It's kind of implied by the name Prometheus, who stole fire from the gods in Greek mythology. Oh, well, good then. That's true. Can I have a smoothie? I know. The tune Corn Pop just popped in my head. Popcorn. Hey, can you go tell Eden that I would like some smoothie too? Ding 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 ding. Isaac, can you go tell Eden that I would like some smoothie too, if she's making smoothies?
Dad. Eden. Daddy wants a smoothie too.
I saw Imperial troopers arrest a predator, Yamcha, for hunting xenomorphs on Coruscant. Hope you watch Star Wars fan films too. I won't guess beers your part. In part 1, Mike. I think you'll love it. No smoothie while you draw. You'll spill. I think I'm capable of having a smoothie while I draw. Thank you very much. I appreciate the concern, but it is unwarranted. I need to eat something, but gosh, I kind of feel like fasting. Like I've been just eating crap for a while. We need to get some fresh veggies and start juicing properly. Alright. Power to the parents, Father Force Go. I need to hash out some ideas too. You'll be sorry. My tour on Coruscant was a doozy. Were you classically trained or self-taught? Are you new here? I am self-taught in general. I basically have to just be shown something once, and I'll either pick it up or I will figure out my own way to do it. Like the way I hold my brush is derivative of, well, I moved down to San Diego to join Sealam Studios, and there were a couple of brush inkers there, and I'd never even seen anybody ink with a brush before. And so the way I hold the brush, like this, where I'm clenching it, was derived from watching Mike Christian and Jason Rodriguez, who neither of whom I don't believe ink anymore. Mike works for Microsoft, I think. And I don't know what the heck Jason does. But yeah, they were inking like so, and so I picked it up from them. I didn't even sit there learning from them. They're like, oh yeah, we paint ink with a brush. I'm like, ah, you do that. So I got a brush and I saw how they inked, and then I went and I practiced. Actually, that's a lie. I didn't practice. I went and I inked an issue of The Solution over Derek Robertson with a brush. That's how I learned to ink, was by inking an issue of Solution with a brush. But hey, these guys were hiring me to ink, and I was using a technical pen and just crap markers. So hell, I even inked the cover of one issue of Gravestone with a Sharpie. So yeah, me learning how to ink, being paid to do so while I was inking Derek Robertson. That's fine. Heck, I got work inking Freak Force literally after like half of a page of practice with a quill. I think I've told that story before, but I met Vic Bridges at San Diego Comic-Con one year. I think it was '93. And I'm watching him ink, and I'm like, what the heck is that thing? And he's like, oh, this is a Crowquill. He's like, this is what Terry Austin uses. I'm like, it is? I love Terry Austin's inks. So he gave me a Crowquill. He gave me a nib holder. He gave me a page that he had penciled. And just kind of a throwaway page, like practice page he had done. He's like, here, go practice on this. I'm like, sweet. So I took that home. I was practicing with it, because I'd never used a quill before. But I was kind of learning trying to get those lines that Terry Austin got with a quill. And I wasn't even done with the page, and Vic calls me. He's like, hey man, he's like, how's that quill going? I'm like, oh, I think I'm getting the hang of it. And he's like, cool, you want to ink Freak Force? I'm like, what? He's like, well, we're looking for an inker for Freak Force. You want to try out for it? I'm like, sure. So he sent me another page. I didn't even finish the first one. He sent me another page. I inked that with a quill. Sent it to Eric Larson, and he hired me. I had literally... It was literally my first completed page with a quill was this test page I did. Or not a test page, it was like a pinup. And bam. I was now a well-paid, man, he was paying $250 a page back then for inks, which is like crazy good penciling rate nowadays. But it was the 90s. It was the early 90s, so everybody was throwing money at young idiots like me. who just learned how to use a quill. But yeah, that was the funniest thing. It's like, yeah, just learned how. Thanks for paying me $250 a page.
There. Daddy.
Yes.
I was wondering if you want to take Shilta fishing at the bay.
Taking fishing at the bay.
Yeah, because we're going later.
I'd have to go buy a fishing license. No, I can't afford it.
How much is it?
It's like $50.
What?
We can't afford it. We can't afford the licenses.
Ask someone if
You could take him to the pier, but I don't think you're going to catch anything. It's free to fish off the pier. Do you scan your blue pencil drawings before you ink them, just in case? No. I'll do it occasionally if I want to show the pencils to somebody for some reason. But generally speaking, no. I just go straight to inks. Well, shared the Lone Star. Ooh, thank you, my darling. Careful. Right over my page. Whee, scary. I lost my best buddy to a horde of teddy bears. If I talk over this while I have smoothie in my mouth, there's a higher chance of this getting on the... I'm going to move this. You know, can I spread the xenomorph eggs in their little hunts? So you guys are talking about that other thing. There are zebra unicorns in Game of Thrones. How do you feel about that? Are there? How come I don't remember that? There are aurochs too. Oi, how you doing, mate? Let's see. I like the mystery as well, but Mike... Oh, yeah. Mike can be a brain surgeon with those steady hands. Yeah, I don't get grossed up by bloody stuff either. My daughter would like to be a surgeon if the whole acting thing doesn't work out. This is where Mike inks and colors at the same time. You reading all of this mess again? Ooh, this is gonna give me a chest freeze. Oh, chest is freezing. Ah, so cold. So cold. So cold. 57. I lost someone because he didn't want to watch me drink this rest of this smoothie. Thank you, Eden.
You're welcome.
I did not see Mylan's promo video. I look forward to seeing it. What do you think is your greatest artistic skill, Mike?
Poop.
I don't know. I don't know. I see problems in my stuff. Yeah, I have no answer to that. Some of us are on diets, Mike. What's a fruit smoothie? You can have a smoothie on your diet, right? cry tax returns. What? I resisted a can of Coke all night last night. I was very proud of myself. Was the Coke tempting you? It's shimmering, iridescent red paint tempting you into drinking its caramel-infused caloric intake. Yes, me tossing teriyaki steak into people's mouths, definitely high on the list of my artistic abilities. But it's shrimp. It's shrimp I'm most famous for. The tossing of shrimp across a table, a heated table, into the open mouths of tourists and food tourists, we call them at Benihana's. And Benihana's is a food tourist location.
What?
You're not going? Where are you not going?
She assumes everything.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm famous for my handstand push-ups. Yeah, I can't believe I can't do 20 of them running, or I couldn't do 20 of them. I used to be able to do 20 of those easy. Gosh, that's been a while, I guess. Yeah, I only, what did I get up to? 14? 12? 12, I think? Gosh, that was embarrassing. That's something we did in Taekwondo when I was a kid. And it helped develop my traps, I guess, because it's basically the same muscles you use to do military presses, like on a machine. And it used to always drive my buddy Donnie crazy, because he was like 6'4". He was on freaking steroids. I mean, he was like, you know, monster weightlifter. He could bench press, I think, close to 400 pounds. Actually, maybe more than 400. But I could do more. I could beat him at military press because I learned to, you know, I developed those muscles as a kid in Taekwondo doing wall push-ups. That was funny. Ah, the good old days.
Add bottle of soap. Add toilet paper. Rub on whole body.
I try to get my children to do wall push-ups too, but
Elijah!
What?
Pick up the trash.
trash, Elijah, trash.
Waiting her angry.
The amazing chocolatier, Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I just read that one. Okay, name for
Tall people having a hard time doing military press because we don't engage those muscles as often in everyday life. You shorties are constantly having to reach up to get things we don't. Ah ha 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 ha. You're funny. That's your excuse, is it? That's your excuse why you can't do a single wall push-up. He's taking the trash out. Google popcorn song 1969. I can't do it now because if a song comes up, this video will get demonetized. And since I've only gotten 2 chats, super chats on here. Actually, I did get that one donation. Thank you again for that donation. Wait, what the heck is that? Receipt? Are you buying things?
So poop.
Oh, shoot. Ugh. Man, this IndieGoGo money needs to get here quick. Killing me. Killing me, killing me, killing me. Oh, yeah, I don't want to get my videos demonetized. I know it's not a lot of money. I mean, ads on these things are like pretty cheap, which actually I'm fine with, because that means that it's cheaper for me to pay for ads too on YouTube. But I still, it all adds up. It all adds up. It's like, you know, I can pop up a new video up here every few hours, and if that video only makes me a few pennies in ad revenue, I'm putting up more videos every day. And, you know, I've seen these things add up on royalty statements in other platforms that I've used. Wowio, for example, you know, like, you may only get pennies on one thing, but if you got a whole bunch of things up, those pennies freaking add up, and they add up, and they add up. So I don't want to get demonetized. Why did I bring that up? Oh, that unicorn video got demonetized, or at least it said not appropriate for most advertisers. I'm like, what? It's a freaking unicorn video. No, Joseph, I still haven't gotten paid yet. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know how long it's supposed to take. They said I was going to get paid the week of the 17th. But yeah, I'm just like, just waiting, holding my breath. Holding my breath, waiting for my cash to come. Maybe Cecil's brother's credit card triggered a fraud alert. The unicorn was crazy religious, bro. Yeah, I know, but that's not offensive. Doom-dee-dee-dee-dee. So because you still got the shop open? No. That shouldn't matter. If it did, I'd shut the shop down because I need that money now. I don't know. Maybe there's somebody I need to talk to. Instead of wasting my time drawing all day, I have to waste my time on the phone all day to IndieGoGo reps.
Don't poop in diapers. Okay? Only in the toilet, okay? Okay? So don't look at me. Okay?
IndieGoGo is near my house. I'll go get your money. Do it, Super Elite. Do it. Do you need a loan? Honestly, if I don't get my money soon, I probably would. I don't want to bring up all my financial situation stuff. Escalate that stuff ASAP, bro. Yeah, have the 18-year-old call them and wait by the phone for 8 hours. I don't have an 18-year-old. I only have a 17-year-old and a 15-year-old and an 11-year-old and a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old. Children dying in the other room, it sounds like. Let him earn his keep. Yeah, close enough.
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, buddy.
Underwear.
Yeah, you rocking the underwear, huh? You know you can wear pants over your underwear.
No, I'm not. Look, it's Pee-wee.
Which Game of Thrones character is that? This is Jon Snow. Thus, as Jon Snow, when he finds the dragon glass. So, anyways, I should be done with this one fairly soon, and then I can get back on Lone Star. Heart of the Hero. Those back and bank systems are weird. I've had wire transaction inexplicably take 2 weeks. Man, that would kill me if this freaking took 2 weeks. Yeah, I need to contact one of the guys. No. Don't let him start playing stuff, dude. I'll get demonetized. Jojo, why don't you go watch something in the other room?
No. I want a pet.
You can't have the iPad. I'm using it. You can have my phone. Where's my phone? Who's got my phone?
I will.
Who has my phone?
Micah.
Micah has my phone. When did he steal my phone, that little ninja?
Oh no.
Yeah, I think some, there were still some people who could use the, or who could advertise on the unicorn one. Because it was like a yellow, it wasn't a red, so it wasn't, I don't think it was completely demonetized, it just wasn't for everybody. So I think, that's fine. Because I think like, CRTV was posting on it, or was advertising on it. They got targeted audiences. Very cute. That hits me in the feels. What, Jojo? You're hitting him in the feels, Jojo.
Huh?
You're hitting him in the feels.
What did he do?
What did he do? He was just cute sounding. Gideon, if you could stop moving my chair, that'd be great.
Yeah, stop.
What?
Seriously, have your wife call them. Bank and IndieGoGo.
Daddy,
Well,
chair.
let me check my bank again. See if
Daddy, chair. Stop. Stop it.
stop what?
Look.
Eden's moving my chair. Oh, you're telling her to stop moving my chair?
Yeah.
Oh, you're so sweet.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not.
Hey, stop! Stop! What doing, Ian?
Yep, still not in my bank.
Oh, my Kiko. Ian.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? It's 4:30. Maybe I should.
Cute.
You like my flamingo?
I'm gonna wrap this up. I'll probably finish this up
Go.
a little bit. I do need to
No flamingo.
check out what's going on with IndieGoGo. So appreciate everybody being here. I'm gonna go It's getting pretty late, so orientation is locked. Rotate device back. I don't want to rotate device. Alright, so thanks guys. I'll see you either later or here's a better shot. Here you go. Or, aloha. There's always aloha. So, aloha.